Head to Australia. That's home to the world's fourth largest pension fund market, and JPMorgan is targeting a $10 billion slice of those savings by using the bank's global reach to lure Aussie investors looking to diversify abroad. Joining us now from Sydney is Rachel Farrell, JPMorgan Asset Management's Australia CEO. Rachel, thanks so much for coming back to the program once again. Before we talk about International Women's Day, I want to kind of talk about more what we've seen in the markets, this degree of volatility that we've been seeing. I think first it was the concerns of rising rates, and now there's a threat of a trade war. How defensively positioned should investors be at the moment?
Well, if you look at the global economic backdrop, the world still looks relatively good. I know you're referencing the trade wars, which brings to light some geopolitical issues that we have. And geopolitical issues, of course, are not new to the markets. We had North Korea, we had, Brexit, we had, populist movements in Europe. Geopolitical things will take place, and they do impact markets in the short term. But in the long term, we really look at fundamentals, and the fundamentals across the world are actually still quite strong.
Can you still have a 60-40 model when it comes to asset allocation when it seems like we're seeing more of a one-direction market these days?
Well, with the large resources that we have at JPMorgan Asset Management, we look to create specific solutions for clients. So there isn't one size fits all for our clients. We help a large number. We are working with 60% of the world's largest pension funds and sovereign wealth funds and central banks across the world, and they all have very different needs and different solutions for them.
It was around this time last year, Rachel, that you were telling us that JPMorgan Asset Management, your current footprint in Australia, was still not keeping up with what it should, where it should be. How do you think things are progressing now 1 year on?
No, definitely progressing. I've learned a lot in the past year. It's a very interesting market here. We continue to feel strongly that the global breadth and resources of JPMorgan Asset Management can be of service to, as you said, the fourth largest pool of pension assets in the world. And we continue to look at how we can help the institutions here leverage our expertise, and tap into our resources in order to meet their needs and solve their problems. So, certainly in this type of year where we're definitely going to see more volatility, it's that much more important to really be able to have well-diversified portfolios that can withstand some of this volatility. So we're very active in discussions with people about how to build those resilient portfolios.
And Rachel, how well along are you guys now? This time last year, you said that you had an aim of $10 billion over 5 years. At what level are you at in that $10 billion mark?
We don't quote specific assets, so I'm not going to give you specific assets right now. But we had a good year last year, strong year. We continue to develop our businesses both in the wholesale distribution channels as well as the institutional market. We also have a real estate team on the ground participating in buying property for our Pan-Asian real estate capability. And we continue to be focused on all three of those areas.
And with your focus in Australian pension funds, more than 50% is actually domestic orientated, about 54% there. Any change over the past year that you've seen?
Nope. That's not, there's plenty of providers in that space that do an excellent job. Some of the large superannuation funds are, in fact, insourcing some of that, where they can invest some of those assets on their own. That's not where we're looking to focus. We're really looking to focus where our own expertise and our own specialties across the world can be helpful to these clients here.
Is Australia still a strategic market for the firm? Are you thinking about adding more staff now?
Yeah, no, it's extremely strategic. If you look at the context of the Asia-Pacific markets and where those pools of capital are to service clients, three big pools of capital are Japan, Australia, and then China, which will, obviously dwarf everything as it continues to open up. So it's a very important market for us. We have a very, very long history in Asia-Pacific. We were one of the first firms to offer mutual funds in Hong Kong. We have a large presence in Hong Kong and across Asia. In fact, we're present in 23 markets across the world. Australia makes absolutely strategic sense for us, and we're here to stay.
Rachel, because it is International Women's Day, we have to ask you, do you think that the glass ceiling for women in asset management, has that been broken yet? And what else would you like to see?
It's a journey. I don't think the glass ceiling has been broken. Women that are involved in the asset management industry would, of course, like to see more women on the investment side of the business. I think, as portfolio managers, I think that in the asset management business, we see more and more women on the business side, which is great to see. And I think there are more and more role models. You may know that Mary Erdos is the head of our wealth management business, which comprises both asset management and the private bank. And she's a wonderful role model for the industry. We need to see more role models, and we need to see more portfolio managers. JPMorgan is very committed to diversity. Diversity makes sense. It means that you have the best and broadest ideas that are brought to the table. And we have to continue to have those conversations around diversity in order to continue to push forward and see more gender balance. But it's not only about gender balance, it's diversity in the broadest sense.